everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Hot start.
Hot start. Happy Thursday and welcome to Moment of Presence. I am Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching and I am joined by my beautiful COO and daughter.
Hi, everybody. My name is Krista Barone. I am a fractional COO with my company, Wicked Wisdom Consulting. I help business owners get back to doing what they love and living their purpose by taking all of the operational and tech stuff off their plates.
I like that stuff.
Yeah. I try to just speak with normal language. Trying to use fancy big words, just why?
Why?
It just makes it, why not just make it universal language? Everyone knows what I mean when I say that,
And we're all about real talk here.
Yeah.
And if you haven't caught, if you didn't catch our show yesterday, which is new and will be happening every Wednesday, hence why today is Thursday,
Yes.
that is shockingly delightful. And we talk about all different kinds of topics. On this show, Moment of Presence, we talk about a specific topic. And today's specific topic is hamster wheels.
Yeah.
When I talk to clients, potential clients, friends, family, anybody really, and you ask them what is a challenge for them,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear a lot that I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
That it's Groundhog Day. Every day is the same. They get up, they get ready, they work, they come home, they go to bed. Well, they make dinner, go to bed, and then they get up and do the same thing over and over and over again. And even saying it doesn't sound fun.
No.
No.
And it wears on you over time massively.
Yes, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it as a stream with, or even like our backyard. We have an area where the water drains and it drains in the same place and it just erodes
Mm-hmm.
the space, the sand, the soil around it, and it just digs this like hole in it, and
Right.
it just wears away at the area. And if that's how you're feeling about life and you don't know how to change it,
Mm-hmm.
because something does have to change, something in you, if you continue this way, is going to start eroding your spirit, your soul, your joy,
Few
your
things are going to
fun.
start eroding.
Well, yeah. It's just going to be, you're going to be beaten down. And that's, again, not the way to live.
Right.
And so, what do you do? What do you do? And go ahead.
I was going to say, well, a hamster just simply gets off the wheel.
That's exactly where I was going with that, because why is a hamster smart enough to go, yep, had my fun, okay, I'm gonna get off for right now and I'm just gonna go do something else? Why is it that a hamster is smarter than us?
Well, I feel like anyone that's watching this is going to go, well, I can't just leave my job. Well, I can't just leave my relationship. Well, I can't just leave this or whatever it is that making them feel like they're on a hamster wheel, because I've got this responsibility and that responsibility and this one and that one and this one and that one.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You're right. You do have responsibilities. And how you show up in those responsibilities, in work, at home, as a family member, as a parent, as a friend, you do have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're being eroded because you're on that hamster wheel and you're losing parts of yourself because you're not getting off the hamster wheel and you're not doing something to change that, you're bringing pieces of yourself instead of your whole self into your life and into your relationships. And so the question is, what choice do you want to make?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want things to stay the same, or do you want a hand to help you off the hamster wheel? Like
Right.
just help you, okay, stop and let's take a step off the hamster wheel, back away from the hamster wheel,
Yeah.
and look at your options.
Yeah. I had a friend last night send me. She sent me something on Instagram, and it was in something actually you just talked about it in your newsletter last week or the week before. But basically, choose your hard. You're working for
Yes.
somebody else is hard. Working for yourself is hard.
Yep.
Not exercising is hard because your body isn't feeling great. Exercising is hard because it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Being single is hard. Being in a relationship is hard. All of these things can be difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but it's about choosing what is the best choice for you. Is looking for a new job, let's say it's career that's got you on a hamster wheel, is looking for a new job difficult? Yeah, it can be. But doesn't it be staying somewhere that maybe depreciates? Does it
Well,
depreciate?
yeah,
I
it does
actually,
actually.
yeah, that's a happy accident of a speech slip. That depreciates you, or finding somewhere that does appreciate you. And I think it all goes back to inherent beliefs that we have,
Right.
right? Because if we believe that, well, anyone would be happy to hire me, it's easy to find a job. I can attract anything that I want. It wouldn't even be a question.
Right.
You go, oh, absolutely. I'm not going to stay in this environment where people are terrible to me, where I'm not happy, where I'm being drained every day. The expectations are way too high for what I'm being paid.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about that is there's two sides to that coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because one, you're staying in a job that you're not happy at. You're not giving your best. So that company that you once maybe loved, that you took the job and you were excited in the beginning, now they're not getting the best of you. And so by stepping away, not only are you doing it for you,
Mm-hmm.
but you're also doing it for the company or the people that you work with. Because a lot of times I'll hear, well, I can't leave because they need me, or I can't leave because, I just love this company. If it's not for me, then what's going to happen to my team, or what's going to happen to the employees? What's going to happen to the company? It's all going to fall apart. But if you're not happy, you're not giving your best self anyway.
Right.
And there's someone out there that would be super excited to then join that company and and sit in that chair and
Right.
sit at your desk and give it their all.
Right.
And so you're doing a disservice by saying, I'm not going to leave because, nobody can replace me, or I don't want to let anyone down. You're already, and here's the hard truth, you're already letting someone down. And on top of that, you're letting yourself down.
I've got an even harder truth for you. That company really probably doesn't give a rat's booty about you. Sorry. That team that you love, they probably, one of them, if pushed against the wall, would throw you under the bus the second they needed to. Because that's the hard truth about humanity, is none of us like, that concept of when you corner a fox, they're going to lash out. Same thing happens to people, especially in a workplace. So those people that you're defending, that you're protecting, that you're doing all these things, but they really do the same to you for you.
Yeah.
We want to believe that they will. This is a perfect situation and scenario where you have to look out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
You
because
have to
when
be
it comes to because when it comes to something like careers and big companies, now listen, this is probably maybe not the same with smaller companies, mom and pops companies, family companies, stuff like that. Of course, that's going to be different. This is talking about big, major C-suite type of companies, regardless of where that have a C-suite, meaning they're pretty, they're pretty well built and but you have to look at yourself. I had someone I worked with who she said to me one day, and it was one of my very first jobs. She said to me, she's like, do not ever take the fall for anyone. Do not ever protect anyone. Do not ever lie for someone. You do what you need to do for you.
Yeah. You have to have your integrity.
Advice I ever got.
Right. And you know what? This goes to values, and you know that the values are very important. It's a very important topic to me because I don't think that enough people are talking about values.
Yeah.
And so if you're on the hamster wheel and you don't know what your values are, you don't know if you're living up to or not living up to your values. You have to know what your values are. And values can be, I want to live a joyous life. I want to live in integrity. I want to be authentic in myself. I want to serve others. If you're not doing those things as you're on that hamster wheel, here I have my little doohickey here. Uh, what's this thing called? It's
I
a
almost said another word slip. I almost said fidget spinner. Fidget spinner.
fidget. It's a fidget. If you're on your fidget, if you're on your hamster wheel and you're not being able to apply your values or live your true self, your true values,
Mm-hmm.
then what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Whose values are you living? Are there any values that you're living? And so values help us take a little bit of a temperature check, a big temperature check in our life
Mm-hmm.
and go, okay, so I am choosing to not work for a big company and I'm choosing an equivalent hard, but I'm working for myself. I can manage my own hours. I can work from home. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And are those more equal to your values? Are those answering your values? And if they are, then that hard is the hard you should be picking because ultimately you're going to be happier in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not a lot of people look at their values. They just go through life.
Right. Well, and your values are also what's going to um, evoke you to take action, because
Right.
this also comes down to, okay, you got on the hamster wheel. What's stopping you from getting off of it?
Yes.
Why is that fear have complete control over your decisions? And
Because that one step off the hamster wheel is
Mhm,
one step of
mhm,
fear. And then the rest can be expansion, knowledge,
mhm.
the path to your values or the path of your values. But that one step is what can be so challenging, but it can be a moment of time versus staying on the hamster wheel for 5 or 10 years being miserable.
5 or 10. How about we talk about the people who've been on the hamster wheel for 20, 30, their entire career? They retire and they're so mentally and emotionally deprived they can't even
Yeah.
enjoy retirement because I can't do anything. I'm mentally and physically numb. I
Well,
can't even enjoy retirement.
and you know what I hear a lot of why they stay? Because I just saw somebody celebrating that they're 24 years at one place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, 24 years, one place. So either it makes that person really, really happy, or they've just gotten so comfortable in their comfort zone, or the better, what I really hope for this person is that their job is not their everything.
Mm-hmm.
They go there to make the money so that they can live a full life outside of their job. And they've just gotten really good at maneuvering, which is not being on a hamster wheel because you're maneuvering. And so you're staying active and engaged in your life, even in your career, even though it's the same job and it may not be something that's like, you haven't moved up, you haven't moved down, you just kind of
Yeah.
stayed where you are. But if it's bringing you the life you want outside of your career, so you're stepping off the hamster wheel to actually go live life, well, now you're acting like a hamster. And good for you, right? And good for
Right.
you. Good for you.
It's funny. I remember early in my career when I was looking for a role. I had started like it was a very entry level position, and I was doing that job for a day or two, and was at like a law firm, and the office manager pulled me aside and was like, listen, I see that this job, you are way beyond this job. We have someone that's leaving. Would you like this position? And I said, well, I'll have to think about that. I wasn't expecting that. Can I speak with the gal who's leaving? Because she was still there. And one of the very first questions I asked her was, is this role one where I'm not going to want to take a vacation because when I come back, there's going to be triple the work for me to do when I get back? Is this a role where I'm going to feel comfortable to take my vacation, or I'm going to avoid it because it's going to cause me more stress? And she was honest, and she said, I mean, listen, you get good vacation, but I'll tell you, I've only taken a vacation once, and I've been here for whatever it was, 5-10 years, something like that. And I went, nope. I really appreciate the offer. Thank you so much, but I can't take a job like that. Ironically, a few years later, I did take a job like that. And it was the exact type of job that we all kind of moan and groan about, where even on vacation, I had to be responding and on call. I remember being on a Disney bus back to the hotel at like 11:30 at night, responding to Slack messages because I was the only one that knew what the answers were, and everything was a fire in this job. And it takes such an emotional toll on you. And the fact that we as a society have set up the workforce to be something where that's acceptable, where I'm on a Disney bus on vacation. I just walked however many miles through the parks on vacation with my family, and I feel obligated to be working because nobody else is capable of doing it, or there wasn't the appropriate coverage while I was gone. That's a problem that we've created that as normal.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up because, that's another thing of what a lot of people that I've spoken to do is they want to feel important and they want to feel invaluable. And so they make it so that they feel like they're irreplaceable, right? They go to work, they know everything, they don't want to delegate, and they make themselves that they can't go away. They can't do anything because no one else knows how to do anything. And so there's got to be a harmony. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the person was talking about, good leaders, good managers are the ones that surround themselves with the people that do the work that they need them to do. Not because they're delegating it. They may not know how to do the work. And that's okay, because that's not the leader's job. The leader's job is to make sure that the employees, the people that they've hired to do their job, can do their job in a good environment, a healthy environment. And that's what a good leader's role is supposed to do. He, she, whatever, is supposed to support the team that they've put in place to make everything go smoothly. And if that's not, and that should be that there shouldn't be just one person that knows everything. There should be one person that knows their job really well, but there should be somebody else that can pitch hit when they need to.
Right.
Even if it's the bare minimum.
Yeah. I would also throw a monkey wrench in of a good leader is also somebody who knows when it's time to find someone else for a role.
Yes.
Because too often I see a lot of good companies keep people on because, well, they were here from the start and I really like them as a friend and, all these excuses, but they're not doing the job great.
Right.
And that's okay because maybe they're just a better fit for another team. I'm not saying just to fire people, but no. But if people are doing their job good, let's take a look at why. Is it something on the company's end, or do we need to, is there better training that needs to happen? Was something not clear? Is there a communication issue? Right. Or are they just not into it?
Yeah. Well, and a good leader should know what is a person's genius zone
Right.
and then put them in that seat on the career bus in that company, because it may be the right company bus but the wrong company seat.
Correct.
And on the other hand, there's some that you have to say, you know what, you're miserable
Mm-hmm.
and you're making my role as a leader, maybe not say that they're creating a hamster wheel for you, because you're coming in this every day and dealing with the same complaints and the same arguments and the same, and you're trying to get them to want to do their work, and so now you're on the hamster wheel.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to rehome the hamster. It's time to allow the hamster to move on and find a new home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay too. Because
Yeah.
especially, oh my gosh, how many times have we heard somebody that it's a relative, right? And they feel obligated to work, and really if they were released, they would probably grow and expand, but
Yep.
they're staying out of obligation.
Absolutely. Well, and not even that they're staying because of obligation, but they're being kept in a position that they're not a fit for
Right.
because of obligation, or simply just because, oh, well, you know what I see too is, well, if I have this person in this role, then that means that I don't have to trust someone that I don't know to do this job.
Right.
And I can, it's kind of like, it's this is going to be a joke for the people who know the movie, but the movie Triple X with Vin Diesel, there's a line where he says, it's kind of like you can twist and use that person, because then you can make them bendable and moldable to you. Because if you're in the position of being their boss and this person's a family member, a friend, a relative, whatever they are,
Mm-hmm.
you're their boss. It creates a power dynamic, and they are someone that's close to you. So now there is a ability to twist that person
Mm-hmm.
to do what you need them to do, even if it's goes against a boundary this person has, even if they're not good at this job, even if, it's kind of like doing your bidding,
Yeah.
because you can.
Yeah.
And that's really not appropriate.
And I think that we've identified a lot of different situations about being the hamster on the hamster wheel.
Mhm.
And what I want to make sure that we tell people is it will be uncomfortable to
Oh,
step
yeah.
off the hamster wheel. But again, it's a moment of uncomfortableness for everybody. The moment may be a week, a month, a day, an hour.
You may get flung off the hamster wheel because you stepped off right as it was, going back around. But it's a short, you'll hit the side of the cage and then get back up and run around and you'll be fine.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Because it'll come to a stop and you can get off, and then you can walk towards something that you really want to do,
Mhm.
and even expand that. What if you've never looked at anything else
Mhm.
because you fell into this role
Mhm.
and it just seems easy and you just never thought about doing anything else, but you really, really have an inclination to do something else?
Yeah.
It
And
might be time to start looking at that.
yeah. And I think, all of the drama that happened a few years ago, we see a great resurgence of the small business happening, which I think is absolutely beautiful and
Mhm.
amazing, because people realized, A, oh, this company really doesn't care about me because they just let me go like that. B, you mean it's possible for me to work from home and I don't have to be in the office and I'm more productive? And now what we're seeing is businesses starting to go, well, wait. Actually, LOLJK, you're going to need to come in the office 4 days a week because, yeah, we want to be able to have more control over you. So, yeah, we're going to stop
Right.
doing that, actually. But I was twice as
Doing,
productive. I don't So people are really starting to ditch that classic corporate 9 to 5
mhm.
work concept
Yeah.
that so many people were used to for so long, because it does not work. It is not efficient. If it
Yeah.
were efficient and it actually worked, we would not hear about all these horror stories about someone in that kind of position. We would see better efficiency. People would be paid more and working less, because that's what happens when you work in a style that you're meant to. Humans are not meant to be in a cubicle 8 to 10 hours a day
Right.
That's not what humans are here for. That was a construct that was created. And so all these people that are starting their own businesses and thriving
Mm-hmm.
are showing us that A, it's possible, and B, we do not have to keep settling for this career construct that was created that we didn't even create.
Right. Well, and there are some of those hamsters that will then go home and work remotely,
Mm-hmm.
but then they put up more of the hamster wheel. They get a bigger hamster wheel
Mm-hmm.
because now they feel like, well, I'm at home and I have to like prove myself more and I have to prove that I'm worthy to like work from home. And then they're not taking breaks.
Mm-hmm.
They're not walking outside. They're chaining themselves,
Yeah.
handcuffing themselves to their desk and thinking that they have to. And it's like at work you were even taking a break, for God's sakes. You deserve that. Like, why are you're putting yourself back on a hamster wheel?
Yeah.
And so those are the things that need to be taken a look at. So if you're a hamster and you're on a hamster wheel and you're not getting off the hamster wheel, even when you're given the opportunity to step off the hamster wheel, then something's not working with the hamster. The
Yeah.
wheel is fine. What's up with you?
Right.
What's up with the hamster? Let's just say it the way that it is. Why are you doing that to yourself? And that's what needs to be addressed and looked at.
Right.
And so, being held accountable to a new way of doing things and creating those new habits or that new way of being, the new beliefs, the new whatever it is, that's the part where a coach comes in.
Mm-hmm.
A really good leader comes in. A really good leader sees you still at work at 6:30 and says, what the heck are you doing
Right.
here? Go home. And by the way, I don't want to see you tomorrow until an hour and a half late because you stayed too late tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good leader.
Right. Right. Not a good leader is, I saw this on one of the social sites. There was a company that posted a notice on the door when people walked in that said, so-and-so's daughter just passed away. If you would like to donate some of your vacation time for them,
Mm-hmm.
let us know and we'll transfer that credit.
What? Why are they not just giving that person the time off? For God's
A bereavement period, right? So if that's, if you find yourself in that situation, maybe some people like that. If you like that, I mean, listen, power to you. If you feel good and you love that idea and that concept, awesome. And to Tia's point, Tia said that doesn't happen. I have to tell you, it definitely does happen where bosses will say, get off, you are working, you are after hours. And I'll tell you what, I'm a fractional COO. I have contracting agreements with my clients, and there's times where I have the luxury because I have my schedule set up the way that I do, where I work at different hours, and I literally have clients of mine that go, "Wait, why are you working? Get off! It's Saturday, or it's
Right.
6 p.m. whatever." And I'm like, "Oh no, it's okay. I have a flexible schedule." But I even have clients that say that to me.
Mm-hmm.
That it's about the mindset of the person and who they are. And it's about redefining that your mindset to know that mindset is attainable and people are out there that are like that.
Yeah.
Because if you can conceive something and you can think about it, it exists. And so it's about shifting that mindset, finding someone like a good coach that will help you get to that mindset so that you can attract a job and a boss and clients that say that to you.
Right. And Tia, that's just horrific is what it is, because when somebody is hurting and they're in your care as far as like at work or with work, they're human beings should be with that person. They should help, they should nurture. And I'm really sorry that you experienced that.
Yeah.
And when anybody looks for a role, I think what people forget is that you are being interviewed, but you're also interviewing not just the leader and the person in front of you, but that company.
Absolutely.
Because if that's not the right fit for you, then you need to find something else where they do match your beliefs.
Yeah.
But this goes back to values. And if you don't know your values, you won't know what you're looking for in a company to match your values.
Absolutely.
So, I'm just going to put it out there that anyone that wants my list of how to help you figure out your values, all you have to do is go and sign up for my
Just
email.
comment in the
Yeah,
comment values, and we'll get it to you.
yeah, absolutely. Comment values. We'll get you the sheet, and we can even talk about this on one of the upcoming episodes, as far as you know how that exercise worked out for you and what values you figured out about yourself, because it's always interesting to dive into that and then whittle it down, because you might find 10, but we want the top 5 or the top 4.
Right.
Those are your core values.
Yeah.
And if something that you're doing is not matching those core values, then get off that hamster wheel, because you don't belong there. You do not belong there.
Yeah.
Be smart, be a hamster.
Yeah.
Get off and go find something else. And that can be with a relationship, it can be with a career, it can be with friends, it can be with yes, family. Not saying that you have to give up your family. You can also be mindful of how much time you spend with said family. And if you're on a hamster wheel with a family member, then it's time to move on and get off that hamster wheel. So
And it includes romantic relationships as well. A lot of people stay in relationships that really don't feel right, but you're comfortable.
Right.
You're comfortable.
Yeah.
Or you're
night.
comfortable in the discomfort, I should say. There's a
Right.
difference between because that's a fine line of saying that someone's comfortable because not needing drama in a relationship is healthy. But if you're comfortable in the discomfort of being in a romantic relationship with someone, that's not healthy.
Right. And that's an excellent point. And the other thing is the hamster wheel with yourself. You can be on a hamster wheel with yourself. You can do the same old, same old. You can convince yourself not to do this or not to do that, or to do this and to do that, even though you know it's not the right choice. But you've always done it that way. It's your hamster wheel. Get off the damn hamster wheel and make a new routine, even if you do one thing different.
Yeah.
One thing. One thing. That's it. One small thing. If you always have oatmeal on a Monday, have pancakes. Change it up. Change up your routine. That's part of breaking the cycle of the hamster wheel.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, if your response to that was, well, I don't have time to make pancakes on Monday, book a call, please. Because that kind of mindset is what's keeping you stuck. Because guess what? You can make pancakes on Saturday, Sunday, freeze them, and have them Monday morning.
Yeah.
But if your initial thought is, well, I can't do that, I don't have the time. We need to take a look at what's going on in there, in here, because you got some limiting mindset, limiting beliefs that are holding you back. If it's holding you back from eating pancakes on Monday, where else is it holding you back?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Pancakes is a small example, but how you are and how you respond to small things is how you respond to big things, and it's how you respond to stressful things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, why don't we end today with nice deep breaths, and just really kind of soak this in. And as we're breathing in and holding it, think of some values that you can jot down that you feel might be your core values. And again, just and Tia, thank you for commenting. I'll make sure we get that out to you. Anyone else that would like the freebie on values, just comment values. So big deep breath in and hold it. And then exhale slowly. We're not blowing out a candle today. Big deep breath in. Think of those core values: happiness, joy, resilience. Slow exhale. And this time on the inhale, I want you to bring your shoulders up like you're touching your ears. And hold it really tight. And then just relax as you release. Wiggle it out. It's always good to wiggle out the energy. Krista, as always, thank you for
My
being here.
pleasure.
And Tia, thanks for joining us. Anyone else and everyone else that's joining us, thank you for being here. Leave your name, comments, uh, questions in the comment. We'll be happy to make sure that we get back to you. And just remember that you can, make any day and every day a good day or a bad day. It's all up to you. You get to make that choice. So choose wisely. And we'll see you next week.